top of mountains. We've been to space before. We had our dogs and houses. We dug up dinosaurs. We built those bombs are dropping. We fought in all their wars. Now that the sky's falling, what did we do?
Well, just let it keep playing. That is country music superstar John Rich. The country star who owns a bar in Nashville recently removing Bud Light after that sponsorship deal with trans activist and influencer Dylan Mulvaney. This was in early April.
Well, now Bud Light is reportedly buying back unsold beer that has passed its expiration date. The move could potentially signal a change in strategy for the brand following the major backlash it recently found itself in. John Rich has been standing by, and he joins us now live on National Report. Hi, John. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Good to be with you guys.
It's great to see you, too. And, you know, we've seen now how Bud Light has really suffered from a number of customers who've decided, you know what, I'm not going to support the brand anymore. You're one of those people. Tell me what sort of made the final straw in regards to that decision to sell it at your bar.
Well, it's real simple. How can I sell it if nobody will buy it?
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, it's as simple as that. There's no commentary needed. So I own a bar down called Red Riviera. It's Bud Light was our #1 beer since the day we opened in 2018. #2 wasn't even close. It was Bud Light by a long stretch. And so when the news broke on this new marketing, I didn't pull it off the shelves. I told my bar manager, hey, keep an eye on how much Bud Light we're selling. I'm curious what happens. And after about 5 or 6 days, we were selling a total of 0 Bud Lights. Nobody would purchase it. And it just sat there and sat there. And so I said, well, call the distributor and have them come pick it up. By the way, how many cases do we have right now? And my manager said, we have 118 cases of Bud Light. I said, man. Wow. And I said, nobody will buy it. No. So they came and pulled it out. It's the first time I've ever seen a beer truck take beer out of a bar. It normally goes the other direction. So the customers are king. They made the decision, and we sell things that they want to purchase at my bar.
John, there are many, Americans that feel like they don't really hold the power, right? That the big corporations, they hold all the power, Anheuser-Busch, et cetera. But now it seems as if Americans are picking up on something that they've had for a while, which is power. They can vote with their money. They can show their personal beliefs with where they spend their money. Is that something you're seeing?
Yeah, I think people feel like, well, they know their voices are censored. They feel like their vote doesn't count. They feel like the system is against them, and it is in a lot of ways. As far as the marketing of a product, I mean, listen, they own the product. They have the marketing dollars to spend. They can do it however they want to. I do the same thing. I've got Redneck Riviera whiskey all over the United States, 10,000 stores at this point, and I market too. You know what my marketing platform is, guys? God, family, and country. If you support God, family, and country, Redneck Riviera whiskey will not disappoint you. That's about as simple as it is. And honestly, it's kind of a pathetic comment that loving your country, loving God, being a family person, hard work, that's now a marketing angle. But unfortunately, it is. And in this country, I think people are looking for brands that speak to them, whether that's speaking to them with somebody like Dylan Mulvaney, that speaks to some people. God, family, and country speaks to some people. Brands have the right to market however they want to, and the customers decide the winners and the losers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But now when you're out and about and you're looking for products to buy that might align with your own beliefs, you might have some trouble making your way through the aisle without running into one of these products. And I just bring that up because Miller Lite recently was coming out with their own sort of version of the Bud Light controversy. We want to play this advertisement and then I'll get your thoughts.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. From Mesopotamia to the Middle Ages to colonial America, women were the ones doing the brewing. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis.
It goes on from there. And of course, you can credit female brewers, by the way, without going back and criticizing what used to sell your product. It used to work just fine. Your thoughts on all of these companies more broadly that have really come out in sort of these unique marketing campaigns?
Why does somebody want to have a cold beer at the end of the day? Why do they want, whether you're a man, woman, or whatever, why do you want a cold beer at the end of the day? because you've been working. You want to sit down, you want to calm down, have a nice cold beer or two, and be left alone. The last thing you want is to be propagandized or narrated to or have some angle pushed at you. Can you not just leave me alone and let me have my cold beer in peace? I think that's where people are at. Everywhere that we turn, there's always some type of bullhorn in our face, no matter what product you're looking at, what building you walk into, it doesn't matter. It feels like it's everywhere. And I think when they came to the can of cold beer at the end of a hard work day, when it got to that spot, I think people just said, you know what, enough is enough. And they just stopped buying it. It really upset a lot of people too, because saying I'm a Bud Light guy or I'm a Miller guy or I'm a Coors guy, that's kind of like saying I'm a Ford guy, Chevy guy, or I'm a Dodge guy. It's something that you've identified with a long time. And so for people to feel like they're being betrayed by their favorite brand, that's going on across the country. But there are other brands out there. Yingling's a great beer. I love that beer. It's an American beer, family owned. Redneck Riviera whiskey, redneckriviera.com, 10,000 stores plus on there. There are other brands that you can spend your money on that will not disappoint you, I can promise you.
I got to try that Redneck Riviera. I hadn't had that just yet, so why not bring that up?
If I could stick it through the screen, I would. Right?
Please. Yeah.
We haven't advanced that far. AI, start working on that.
Yeah,
I'd be on board with.
John Rich joining us live. We do appreciate it. John, good to see you as always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it.